We had a community in which you were safe in. You really didn't have to go anywhere else to get what you needed in Cambria. You had your church was there, which was a center point. Our school was there. You could walk downtown and have to wait on the train to cross the street to go to the grocery store or to the bank. When you bought whatever you wanted in the grocery store, you had to wait on the train to get back home because there was a lot of trains.
And while you stood there and waited, those old steam engines would come by, and when you got home, your head was full of cinders. Then you'd go across the railroad tracks, and there was Lee's store. And that was a curiosity for me because they sold everything.
We had a Cambria Hardware, which was right below the Cambria Baptist Church. Cullen Murray ran and operated it, the owner, and he was also the mayor of Cambria at times. That's where I bought my first bicycle.
And there was Dixie Tea Room, which never sold tea, but I was never allowed to go in it. But it sold beer and hot dogs and what else?
Well, we'd slip off from church between Sunday school and church and go over there and maybe buy some chewing gum or a piece of candy. We never let Mom know.
Then there was Dewdrop Inn, which originally was a hospital. And then Dr. S.J. Beacon came to town, and that's where he opened his practice. And he would always tease me, and he would say, "Nancy, you're the only baby I delivered that I was actually paid cash for." It was either a chicken, a ham, a promise, but your dad paid me $25.
Dad was a warehouseman at the passenger station. Dad took care of checking your baggage in, seeing it got on the train and this type of stuff.
He took care of all the mail, the incoming and the outgoing. There were not trailer tractors. It went by rail. All the mail, all the letters went by mail.
Most of the trains stopped in Cambria. There was one that went through going north, one going south. If there was mail to be snatched off of the train as it went by, they'd use this hook and it would just be caught in the hook.
One of the interesting things you might want to know about the railroad, the Tex students used it. And any time the Corps, the military Corps went, that's the way they traveled. And they always traveled, they had a big game in Roanoke, football game on Thanksgiving Day.
VMI.
The VMI. And the Corps would ride the train to Roanoke and then would march from the station to the football field. Now we've talked about going downtown. We'll talk about going up to the school. The PTA was a strong force in that school. They raised money to buy playground equipment, to redo the grounds. We had all kinds of activities. It was almost like a community center.
We could walk to school, of course, and I would roll a hoop to school, and we would race to school rolling that hoop and back. And then we played marbles both on school, shot marbles, played baseball. Our pastime basically was playing baseball, but we'd go up to what we called the Grove. Then the Tri-County Baseball League played there on Sundays, and we'd go up and watch games there. Our granddad's house was adjacent to, only separated by a road, to right field. So Bob and I would climb up in the walnut tree there, and we'd sit in the walnut tree and watch the baseball games. And if somebody happened to hit a home run over right field, it wound up in Granddad's yard or his berry patch, and that's where we kept involved.
We had a lot of activities at our Cambria Baptist Church. It was seemed like things went on for the youth who went on there, and they had a little costume thing going on one evening, and my brother and I had a little pet, and we put it in a little satchel and took it down there, and it was black with a white stripe down its back. And I didn't do it. Jimmy turned it loose. When the kids were there, of course, the ones around us knew that we had a descendant skunk, but we got paid back. It messed in the floor and they made us clean it up.
That was a wonderful thing about Cambria.
It was a safe, fun place.